to another episode of Two Strike Noise, your weekly baseball history podcast, except for when there's a holiday. My name is Jeff. I'm one half of the show. Joining me, as always, from the very cool and balmy Pacific Northwest, it is Mark A. Johnston. Mark, this is why you have a roof, a dome at your stadium.
Yeah, tell you what, man, it is a bit warm. And, being a cold-blooded Scotsman / Pacific Northwesterner, I'm not used to the warm weather, and I'm afraid I'm going to melt here, at least the parts of me that I've had replaced. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I don't want to know what parts you've had replaced. But let's try and cool it off with some baseball talk. What do you say?
Oh, I'm all for baseball talk. It's about that time, man. We're sneaking up on the All-Star break. Everybody's whining about somebody on their team that didn't make it, and whining about someone on another team that did make it. It's that time of year. Just
remember, if you didn't make it, it's a good idea to have a jersey around and a Sharpie in case you do get called to an all-star game and they lose your luggage.
That's right. So true.
All right. Well, or if you just have a buddy go as well, because was it Alfredo Griffin that's how he made the all-star game?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about somebody that, first of all, did not make the All-Star game, but we want to talk about it anyway. So I'm, obviously an A's fan if you've listened before, but also I watch the Mets every day because they're my second place team and soon to be my first, I guess. But let's go Mets and the well-covered Get Metsmerized that we've talked about many times. They're in trouble, my friend. The Mets have a new song, and it's taking over the season, but it's also sung by one of the players, which is even better. So this song is called OMG, and it is from shortstop Jose Iglesias. And I'm going to be honest, it is my song of the summer so far. I'll give you a little taste of it here. Now, this does not sound like a player song, does it?
No, this sounds very professionally done, except I think there's something wrong with my computer because I can't understand the words.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot to switch it over to English. This is my English podcast. If you want to listen to my Spanish baseball podcast, just, look it up. You'll find it. But I love this song. I hear it a lot because I watch the Mets every day, but I love this song. It's very catchy. It's under 3 minutes long, super easy to listen to, but it's catchy and I love it. It's a good song. It's not rap either, like most baseball players will do it. Dude looks like a musician too. Usually a baseball player, like they try to sing and they look like they're thinking about looking like a singer and not a baseball player, and then they look even more like a baseball player trying to sing. But Jose is the man. I'm down with this song.
Yeah, no, that's a solid song. I mean, I've been reading a lot of posts on social media by Mets fans, and they're a unique sort. I'm not sure how you got mixed up with these guys.
Listen, I mean, would you rather have a Mets fan or a Yankees fan?
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying it's bad to be a Mets fan. I'm just saying they have like a doom and gloom complex like a Mariners fan.
Well, what was really surprising to me is that after a win last week, he actually did a live performance of this song on the infield.
Wow.
Light show and everything. Like, it was planned. He was not lip syncing either. Like, he was singing it live. All of his teammates came out with him and sang along with the chorus. It's become like the theme. And they even have this like 3D sign that says OMG on it. And that's their home run celly in the dugout.
Nice.
They don't have a cape or anything this year. It's this OMG sign. They lift up and like raise the roof with it is what it looks like. But I've just never seen a player put on a live concert in uniform after a game. Part of me thinks it was kind of cringe, but I like the song and I know it probably sent Boomer Baseball Nation like into a big time crazy foaming at the mouth thing. So
how dare they?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but like Pete Alonso's out there and he's all into it, and Francisco Lindor's in. I mean, everybody's into it. It's really good. Fans are way into it. But I mean, could you like see Barry Larkin performing like after game, I don't know, like 3 of the 1990 World Series, spitting his bars from Reds Hot on the pitcher's mound?
I can't imagine that.
No, maybe Willie Mays doing his part for that Willie Mays song in center field of the Polo Grounds, 1954
maybe
World Series Game 1.
Here and there.
After he makes the catch and then he grabs a mic and he sings his part of that song. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't either. No.
Let's see. Speaking of Willie Mays, a couple weeks ago when we did the Willie Mays retrospective, is that what we call it? I mentioned that Willie Mays was in an episode of Bewitched that was not even on his IMDb page. And guess who found it?
I know who found it.
There's some sort of party that Samantha and Darren are at, and there's Willie Mays is chilling at this party.
Hey, Willie.
How you doing?
Fine, just fine.
Sam. Isn't that Willie Mays?
Of course.
She's my favorite.
Naturally, she's her mother's daughter.
What's he doing here?
Oh, Darren, really?
You mean he's up, 2?
The way he hits home runs? What else? Excuse me, sweetheart.
Gee, I think it's about time for me to pop out to the ballpark.
So there you have it. Willie Mays confirmed he's a warlock.
Yeah, well, you think he could play the way he played without some kind of boost from the supernatural?
That's what Samantha just said.
Yeah.
You can't. Also, just sidetrack here. Elizabeth Montgomery, Linda Carter, and who played Jeannie on I Dream of Jeannie?
That was Barbara Eden.
Barbara Eden, that's right. Not to open a thirst trap here. And these women were all full-on adults while I was a child watching these in repeat. But can we just agree what smoke shows all 3 of those were?
All 3, absolutely.
Yeah, they were the first to make me kind of feel a little bit funny, like when we used to climb rope in gym class, kind of.
Yeah. Linda Carter, definitely. Jeannie, and wow. And, you know, that the thing, the way she would do things with her arms and go make wishes come true.
Well, yeah,
she
same with
mine.
Elizabeth Montgomery, and her nose would, you know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, man. By the way, this is the Dick York Darren, by the way, not the Dick Sargent. And
they didn't flip on us.
Well,
they flipped on us and didn't say anything.
Well, yeah, listen, I've been bored. I read the whole thing as to why this switch happened, and it's really pretty sad. And Dick York, R.I.P., it was pretty rough at the end there. So thoughts to Dick York. He's passed away, but he had some tough times. We don't do trivia right now. We're doing debuts because we're in the middle of the season. But this is a trivia question that I read, and I was bewildered because I thought that there were other people. But Mark, can you tell me the only pitcher in the Hall of Fame who's undergone Tommy John surgery? Because there's only one.
Really?
There's only one pitcher in the Hall of Fame, and I'm gonna let our listeners kind of think about it. We'll circle back to this. Everybody think about it. Who is the only pitcher in the Hall of Fame right now that had Tommy John surgery? At least during their career. I don't know.
Let me ask you, who was the first person to get Tommy John surgery?
Well, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Right, but who was it?
Well, it was Tommy John.
And what are the odds of that?
That's weird.
Isn't that strange? There's a surgery named Tommy John, and the first guy to get it is Tommy John. So weird.
Wow. By the way, there is also only one hitter currently in the Hall of Fame to have undergone Tommy John surgery.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let both of those. I'm gonna just let everybody think about those. There's only two players that had Tommy John surgery while they were active in the Hall of Fame. Who are they? One pitcher, one a hitter. Another little bit of trivia here. Players in Major League history to hit a home run on their 25th and 38th birthdays. Only 2 players. I mean, first of all, that's a 13-year span right there. So they had to have had a pretty good career. Only 2 players have ever hit a home run on their 25th and 38th birthdays. Any guesses?
Wow. No.
No. Should I circle back around to this one too, or should I spill the beans?
No, I think you should let people guess. So press pause right now, folks, if you want to guess.
Okay.
Don't forget to come back.
Yeah. Well, we're waiting.
No, we don't have to pause. They can actually press the button.
It's just listeners. All right.
Yeah. Because they might think we walked away or something.
Let's see here. I got some special mail from one of our longtime listeners. Somebody that has given us some baseball cards here recently. And also got me specifically a baseball card. So shout out to Brian Krause again. I got in the mail a special baseball card autographed by one Mr. Rick Shue.
Wow. Really big shoe.
A really big shoe. Now, it's not the 87. I think that's going to be my next thing. I've got to get an 87 Topps signed by Rick Shue, because that is, besides, maybe the Ricky Henderson rookie card, my favorite baseball card of all time, as I've mentioned before. But this is, I haven't had any Rick Shue autographed anything before, so I'm super excited about this, and thank you for finding that and sending it to me. I appreciate that.
That's very cool.
Yeah, Rick Shue.
If anyone was wondering what my favorite baseball card is and wants to send it to me, it's the 68 Topps Nolan Ryan Jerry Kuzman rookie.
Oh, well, actually my favorite one is the Honus Wagner the
T206 Honus Wagner?
Yeah, so
yeah,
and if it's autographed and graded, even better. But
we'll make you an executive producer on the show.
You can be the 4th strike. Because Mitch, our friend Mitch, is the 3rd. Let's see. Brandon Marsh. You're familiar with Brandon Marsh and his always permanently wet hair that is everywhere?
I'm used to it. I kind of like his look, except for the wet hair. Yeah,
the wetness kind of grosses me out, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, he's got that beard. I think he's been growing it since the 6th grade. Like, he's just never shaved it. And his hair is very long, but apparently he does get it cut, and it is usually wet. But this is an interesting story. He's very particular about his hair and who cuts it, but he had a hair emergency, and it almost turned into a Seinfeld episode.
Really picky with who touches my hair. I've got my hair cut by one lady since I was 12 years old. And actually, a funny story. I really needed a cut last year in Chicago when we were here playing the Cubs. Well, Matt, Strom, he's got the locks, man. That dude's got him going. So I'm like, I can trust your dad with hair, because he cuts your hair, he can cut mine for sure. So I went over and got a cut. He goes, just hit a homer for me tonight. And I was trying to give him a couple bucks. I was like, dude, I got to give you something, And he goes, no. Just go out there and have a good game. That's all I care about. And I was like, all right, yes, sir. We go out there. I hit 2 homers. And then I text him, and I'm like, dude, I need you to cut my hair every single day. And, this year, before opening day in Philly, I went over to the Strom's place, and he cut my hair before opening day and hit my first opening day homer this year. And I'm just like, oh, my God. So I went and got a cut yesterday or 2 days ago and ended up going 0 for 3 last night. So I broke the streak. But, Strom's dad's giving me 3 homers in the big league. So I'm thankful. And he cuts my hair great.
So he asked him for a homer, and he did it.
He definitely delivered. My gosh.
So if you know Matt Strom's father and you need a haircut, that might be Matt Strom could use a haircut, I think, period. But
I might have to try that. I mean, if he's willing, if he listens to 2 Strike Noise.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I could use some good fortune, and I definitely could use a haircut. You know that.
I don't know. I haven't seen you in person for a while, so I'm assuming.
It's long as always.
Yeah.
It's down there.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Remember way back, I mean, this is probably 2-3 years ago, we dedicated like 2 entire episodes where we went through and we calculated and tabulated the combined WAR of each team's coaching staff.
Yes, I remember doing that and thinking, this is never going to fly, and people really enjoyed it.
Yeah, people do. Well, we're not going to do that again.
No.
There is a graph here of current managers' WAR from their playing days. So somebody's already done the work for us. We're not going to go through them all. Any idea who number one would be? Current manager with the highest WAR from their days as a player. I'm asking a lot of questions this week.
You're making me think, and I don't like to think in the summer.
Or the winter.
Well, that's a different reason, though. Now it's because it's too hot.
Oh.
And I can feel the gears getting warmer in my head as I think. And I'm not a fan because of my long hair and keeps all the heat
and
inside.
You're stalling. You're stalling is what you're doing.
Yeah, and I don't have any guesses.
Cubs manager Craig Counsell with a 22.4 WAR. He just beat out A's skipper Mark Kotsay at 21.3 and Rockies skipper Bud Black at 20.9.
Okay. Those all make sense.
Yeah, other guys with double digits WAR from their playing days: Davey Martinez, David Bell, Aaron Boone, and Rocco Baldelli. Your boy Scott Service is in here at number 11 with a 3.1, just above Bob Melvin.
That's a 3.1. That's better than some of the guys we talk about.
Yeah, look at this. 11, 12, and 13 goes Scott Service, Bob Melvin, Bruce Bochy. All catchers. And right above them is Stephen Vogt. So it's true. And AJ Hinch obviously is in here. The lowest WAR is, and this comes in no surprise, is Kevin Cash with the Rays with a minus 3.1.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some other guys in there, well, obviously there's all the managers. Some of them never even played in the big leagues, so they don't even have one. But some more, like AJ Hinch, ended up with a 0.0 career WAR.
Right on the money.
Yeah. A's prospect, AJ Hinch.
That's right.
Let's see. So I saw something here that Elly De La Cruz had done. First of all, Elly De La Cruz, freaking fantastic to watch. So much fun to watch.
You've got to be a big fan.
I'm not going to lie. You know, we've had this conversation before. I am biased towards the American League.
Yes.
The American League to me is just so much more interesting than the National League. It's kind of not as much anymore since it got rid of the DH. No. One of the few things that I do approve of from Rod Manfred is the DH in both leagues. I'm watching Reds games a lot. There's a lot of exciting players on there. The Nats have some really good, young, exciting players. There's some real fun National League young guys. But Elly De La Cruz has 45 stolen bases after 91 games this year.
Yeah.
And
pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That hasn't been done for a long time. So I wanted to see how that compared to Rickey Henderson's 1982 season when he, of course, stole 130 bases. Just to see. I mean, obviously, 91 games is more than halfway through the season. If you were to even just double it, it's 90. So it's still 40 stolen bases shy of Rickey's record. But Rickey, after 91 games in 1982, had 86 stolen bases.
Wow.
So almost twice as much as Elly does right now.
They just don't make them like that anymore.
And remember, the base is bigger. And the pitcher can only throw over so many times.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. How would Rickey have done if the pitcher could only throw over twice?
Oh, man.
I mean, what would he have done?
I think if you're a pitcher, you would never throw over twice because you wouldn't want to give him that advantage. You always would want that one in your back pocket to say, I might throw it over right now. Or Rickey just wouldn't care.
And Rickey Ever, the strategist, would have had it measured out completely how many more inches off of each pitcher he could take the lead. Yeah. After two throws.
I think he would probably steal 100 every year in his prime.
Absolutely. He could have pushed 200 maybe. Oof. In a big year.
Boy, yeah, that would be... I think he might hurt himself before then, but wow.
Well, if anybody's going to do it, it would have been Rickey.
Yeah, he managed to stay pretty healthy early in his career, especially running. But this is another thing I noticed between the two. Through the 91 games this year, Elly De La Cruz has an on-base percentage of .344, which is pretty good. That's, well above average. Rickey's, after 91 games in 1982, .416.
Wow.
I mean, that's Ohtani, like, you're getting on. And he hit, but also, I mean, he was walking 100 times. And that's just something that Elly, that's what all these base stealers do. Billy Hamilton, Not sliding Billy Hamilton.
Not sliding Billy.
Yeah, I mean, sure, he was fast, but you got to get on base to be. You can't steal first base except for in the Atlantic League. So
that always blew me away about Ricky is the eye he had at the plate, and it blew me away about the pitchers that faced him. Why are you walking Ricky Anderson?
You can't help it. Remember his at one point somebody said his strike zone was as big as a postage stamp.
Yeah,
because he had that crouch.
Yeah, like I said, they don't make him like that, and they probably never will.
Let's see. I'm going to do debuts here, and then we'll circle back to the trivia questions, just so I don't forget them. But this show is debuting on July 12th. A couple of good debuts today. First of all, the best debut. The Cobra, 1973. Dave Parker made his debut. A true five-tool player. He is
73.
It just everything he had for a guy his size.
Yeah.
He had speed. He had an arm. He could field. He could hit for average. He could hit for power. 19 years he played in the big leagues. He played for the Pirates, the Reds, the A's, the Brewers, the Angels, and the Blue Jays. A 7-time All-Star, 2 World Series rings with the Pirates and the A's. 1978, he was the National League MVP. He won 2 batting titles back-to-back in 77 and 78, 3 consecutive Gold Gloves from 77 to 79, 3 Silver Slugger awards, 2 outstanding DH awards once he joined the American League, and he won the very first home run derby with
that's
3 home runs.
Incredible. Just throwing in the Gold Gloves, that's just like, come on, that ain't fair.
No, and you were at that All-Star game, right? In Seattle when he unleashed that cannon from right field.
From the corner.
Yeah.
At the Kingdome, and I was sitting on just past first base on the right field line. And I remember looking at that hose and just thinking, what just happened?
Yeah.
How did he pull that off? It was a gun.
Just threw a pea from the corner. I mean, that was just an incredible throw. Not in the Hall of Fame, unfortunately. Mostly, well, I've got to assume it's got to be from the Pittsburgh drug trials.
Yeah.
How many voters today were around when the Pittsburgh drug trials were taking place? I mean, I know there's a segment, but is it more than half? Are people still really same with Keith Hernandez. Are we really still holding on to that?
How many of the voters have not used Coke? I'm just saying.
Especially if they are around during the Pittsburgh drug trials. Right. Unfortunately, Dave Parker has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and it's an awful disease, and it is so hard to see pictures of him right now because this big, huge, hulking guy that, would swing a sledgehammer in the on-deck circle and wore a hockey mask because he was playing with a broken jaw, and just this huge guy, it has just ravaged his body. He's doing a lot of charity work, though, to raise money for Parkinson's research, which is great, and I love Dave Parker, and he should be in the Hall of Fame.
It's super sad because what that does to you, and he was just such an absolute athlete.
Yeah, I loved him. The short time he was on the A's was great because how often is a player that you've always liked that much on your favorite team? Except for us, like Ricky Henderson on the A's and Ken Griffey on the Mariners and
Well, he was a great addition, too. He wasn't like just a token star.
He was an outstanding DH. I mean, he couldn't play the field like he used to, and he came over and he just kept swinging a big bat.
Yeah, I remember.
Speaking of the Oakland A's organization, 1987, Walt Weiss made his debut for the A's. Won the 1988 Rookie of the Year award at shortstop. Also played for the Marlins, Rockies, and Atlanta during his 14-year career. Also went on to manage the Rockies and is currently, I believe he's a coach for Atlanta right now. I think I see him in the dugout with, is it Snitker? Is he the Braves manager right now? How do I not know who the Braves manager is?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, it's Snitker. I'm looking at the with a 0.0 WAR as a player. I'll give you right now. I'll give you $100 if you can tell me who the manager of the White Sox is.
It's my cousin Bill.
Pedro Griffel. Griffel?
Oh,
I don't.
No, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, I mean it's the White Sox. I'm sorry, White Sox
no
fans.
offense, White Sox
but
fans.
you know,
we're not trying to drive you away.
If there's a team that's worse than the A's as an well, they're not a worse organization. I will say that. But if they've got a worse product on the field, there's one of them.
They certainly have a better owner than the A's. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Every single professional franchise in the world has a better owner than the A's.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think even White Sox fans will admit that, because while he is threatening to move the team, he has not done so yet. So Let's see. Also making debut today, July 12th, in 1991, he of a 3.1 career WAR, Scott Service.
Hey, all right.
And he spells his name real funny. Like
Cervez.
There you go. Cervez. Yeah, like he's French. 11 seasons as a catcher, played for Houston, the Cubs, Giants, and the Rockies. Another thing I wanted to mention that did take place today, July 12th in baseball history, 1979, we did a whole episode about Disco Demolition Night at Old Comiskey.
Oh, yes.
That happened today. Quick movie pitch as I was thinking about Disco Demolition. Disco Demolition Man. Because Demolition Man is my... That and Cliffhanger, honestly, are my two favorite Sylvester Stallone movies, I think. So the pitch here, Bill Veeck is frozen and brought out of his stasis in modern day baseball to kick Rod Manfred out of office, force John Fisher out as A's owner. He'll do other stuff too, but that's the main part of the story is John Fisher. Maybe he blows him up or something. I'm
going to write it. I have to write that now.
Disco Demolition Man. There you go.
That'd be the first script I've written, and I'm going to console you for the difficult parts.
Okay, well, let's make sure we get the 3 seashells in there, and
yes,
a lot of Taco Bell talk.
Yeah,
because
maybe Sandra Bullock.
Well, there's. I'm not going to argue with that. Let's put that in the Elizabeth Montgomery, Linda Carter category.
Nothing wrong with Sandra.
No. Let's go back here and circle back before we get into some other longer stories here. The only pitcher in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame to undergo Tommy John surgery. Has anybody come to mind?
No.
No?
Absolutely not. I could have looked it up, but you would have heard me typing.
John Smoltz.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know if I knew he had Tommy John. I probably did at one point.
I mean, I knew because I was working in Atlanta when that happened, and that's why he became a closer when he came back.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
Yeah,
darn good closer.
Yeah, and then went back to being a starter. But
very versatile pitcher.
The only hitter in the Baseball Hall of Fame to have undergone. I didn't hear you typing, so I'm going to assume you didn't get this one as well yet. It's the Igniter, Paul Molitor.
Okay.
Which I didn't know he underwent it, but he did.
I didn't either.
So there you go, Paul Molitor. Next, I asked who are the only players in Major League history to hit home runs on their 25th and 38th birthdays. The answer, Charlie Blackmon and Todd Helton. That's it. You have to be a Rocky if you want to hit a home run on your 25th and 38th birthday.
If I had a month to guess, and I could just throw out a player every second, I don't know if I would have come up with those guys.
That would be tough. I mean, maybe, you're a big Rockies mark, so maybe, and I love Todd Helton. Well, we just talk about the Rockies all the time here, don't we?
Oh, my goodness.
Nonstop. Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for our BP segment. Grounds crews out there doing their stuff. Mark, we took the week off last week because it was a holiday and it was super hot where I am. I pushed it all up to you now, but I did want to do something here. I wanted to do a little segment here called Since Our Last Show, because there has been a lot of stuff for a baseball history podcast to talk about that has happened in Major League Baseball since our last show. There's been some historical stuff. There has. And one of the most incredible ones is Jose Miranda of the Minnesota Twins, who he got a hit in 12 straight at-bats. Yeah, that is amazing. That is incredible. That ties the longest streak in Major League Baseball history, tying Johnny Kling of the 1902 Chicago Cubs, our boy Pinky Higgins, 1938 with the Boston Red Sox, and Walt Dropo. I heard somebody call him Dropo. I've always said Dropo. I don't know. I thought it was Dropo, but I don't know his family or anything. We know who we're talking about. Walt. That's right. That's what matters. Walt Dropo, the Tigers in 1952. in this 12-game hitting streak, consecutive plate appearances, 12 hits, his batting average went from 297 to 324.
Wow.
At this point in the season, that's impressive.
That's amazing.
27 points. He had 2 doubles and a home run included in that streak and raised his slugging percentage from 480 to 529.
That's ridiculous.
His OPS was already an impressive 822. It went up to 894. So, I mean, that's just incredible. So while I was ruminating on that, I was playing MLB The Show and realized there were a couple of Negro League highlights that I hadn't done on their show. So I went through and did those, and they're great because when you do these highlights for these players, Bob Kendrick gives you background and tells you stories about them, and it's great. And it's getting a lot of young people to know about these Negro League players that they didn't know about. And one of these guys was Rap Dixon, who, that's a great nickname if you're a hitter.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason he was nicknamed Rap. But in 1928, he had a 14 hit streak. But
wow.
In between there, he had 2 walks in between. So it wasn't the same thing. But that's so impressive than just a measly batting streak. But the streak for Rap included 8 hits in a doubleheader on one day, that's a lot of hits. From 1925 to 1929, he had more hits than games played in 4 out of 5 seasons. And that one season he was hurt and he had 20 hits in 21 games. That's the kind of guy you need to just walk. But also some other historical things. Ben Rice of the Yankees, rookie, became the first Yankees rookie with a 3-homer game, which is, I mean, think of all the Yankees and all the firepower.
Been a handful of those.
He knocked in 7 RBI with those 3 long balls. The first Yankee rookie to knock in that many runs since Lou Gehrig in 1925. Oh, wow. So almost 100 years exactly since a Yankee rookie had knocked in 7 RBI. So
wow.
There you go.
That's amazing. Can I throw something in about Rap Dixon real quick?
You may.
Yeah, Rap Dixon actually played in the very first game where a Negro League team played in Yankee Stadium, and he hit 3 home runs.
It's incredible. I mean,
it's amazing.
And there was a quote that Bob read that was, it was sad, and it just kind of, again, makes you sad that there had to be a Negro Leagues. But I think it was John McGraw said that if he was a little bit more light-skinned, he could have been passed off as a Cuban and played in the big leagues.
Right, which is bizarre.
He's Cuban. He's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
God, ridiculous. Let's see this. So Joey Estes, he's a pitcher for the A's. I have to say that because I'm probably the only person that knows that would be listening to this podcast. But he had a great game against the Angels last week. He threw a Maddox, had a complete game shutout in under 100 pitches.
Ridiculous.
Last time a pitcher 22 years or younger to throw a Maddox was in 2012 when Henderson Alvarez did it for the Blue Jays. I don't remember that name.
2012.
Go back to 2009. Derek Holland did it for the Rangers. I know that guy. And then you go back to 2006 and some guy named Felix Hernandez did it for the Mariners.
Okay.
So there's 4 Maddoxes for guys under 22 years old. All 4 of them against the Angels.
No way.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
How does that happen?
They just, if you're of a certain age, they've got they put a spell on the Angels. I don't know. Let's see. Also this. Now, again, we missed a week. So heading into last Saturday, Manny Machado had a career slugging percentage of .487 when he was with the Orioles, who he came up with. A career slugging percentage of .487 with the Dodgers, who he was traded to from Baltimore, and a career slugging percentage of .487 with his current team, the Padres. Can you guess what his career slugging percentage overall is?
I'm going to go with .487.
There you go. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, that was a total stab in the dark. I got it.
Could hear the wheels turning there. Another historical thing. Like I said, some really cool stuff has happened since our last show. Also, last Saturday, Shohei Ohtani, he had a home run, a triple, 2 walks, and was hit by a pitch, and also stole a base. According to Major League Baseball, Ohtani is the 3rd player with a home run, triple, walk, hit by a pitch, and a stolen base in a game. The last player to do it was Christian Yelich in 2019 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The first player to do it was Burt Daniels of the New York Highlanders against the Chicago White Sox in 1910. So something that has only been done 3 times over the last 115 seasons.
That's crazy.
And Ohtani, how many things has Ohtani done that you could say only 2 people have done this, or for that matter, only 1 person? Usually, if it's 2 people, it's him and Babe Ruth, right?
Yeah, that's right. Pretty much. Yeah, that guy is pretty fun to watch.
Let's see. We've talked about Raul Mondesi before and the problems that he has been in since he's left baseball, but there is an update here. Former outfielder Raul Mondesi was sentenced to 6 years and 9 months. 69, nice, in prison, plus a fine of 30 million pesos, which is about $500,000 US.
I was going to guess $12.
Come on now, let's not peso shame Mexico.
No, it's not as bad as Canadian money. I'm just saying.
Oh, wow. You live very close to the border, and I know just last weekend there were a lot of Canadians in your city.
Well, what are Canadians going to do? It's not like they have any weapons.
They'll apologize to you. The San Cristobal Collegiate Court, which I don't know why collegiate is in there, but it's pretty formal apparently, sentenced the former Dodger outfielder for embezzlement during his tenure as mayor of San Cristobal from 2010 to 2016. The decision was made after the prosecutor's office and defense, they came up with an agreement. Mondesi completes the sentence imposed by the judges against him after serving 6 years prior of house arrest. He was originally sentenced for corruption and mishandling of public funds for the first time back in 2017. So he's been under house arrest for 6 years, apparently.
I hope he has a nice house. Plenty roomy.
Of course, unanimously won the National League Rookie of the Year in 1994 when he was with the Dodgers. Won 2 Gold Gloves as well. He was another one of those 5-tool guys, right? I don't know that he hit for a ton of average, but I remember he had a hose out there in the outfield.
Oh, he
could hit for power and he could steal
player.
Bases. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
We've mentioned he's the father of Adalberto Mondesi, who used to be known as Raul Mondesi Jr., but once this all went down, has changed his name to Adalberto.
Yeah, Adalberto, as far as we know, never embezzled anything.
Well, as far as we know, absolutely correct.
Right.
Let's see, I've got one more thing here that I've saved tucked away, and this seems like a great time to do it because we had the July 4th holiday, right? Where we had the hot dog eating contest, even though Joey Chestnut wasn't there. So it's like that mustard belt, whoever won it sits upon a throne of lies if they...
Not a throne made up of swords, no.
No, or hot dogs for that matter. It's just...
throne of wieners.
Yeah, so Patrick Sandoval, Angels pitcher, he made a play a couple of weeks ago against the Rangers where he kicked the ball and it went to a fielder and then they fielded and threw to first for the putout. Patrick Sandoval now has a kicks on his Baseball Reference page, just like Paul O'Neill.
Oh, nice.
So congratulations to him. But this led me to, there's not many things that Baseball Reference does where they put kind of those things that are funny, like kicks for Paul O'Neill and now Patrick Sandoval, in the bio stuff, right? I mean, Baseball Reference, it's like Xerox or Band-Aid, right? This is, people say, oh, just look up Baseball Reference because they know everything there is official. It's pretty serious business, and it's baseball.
Button up is what it is. Yeah.
Exactly. So somebody pointed to Bruce Bochy's Baseball Reference page. We've already mentioned Boch once for 2.3 WAR as a player, but what is listed there, besides his Manager of the Year awards, it says Arby's Eating Champ.
Nice.
Yes. So when he was in the Astros farm system in the Florida State League in the 1970s, he won a team contest by eating an Arby's in one bite.
Wow.
Now, this is all I could find about it. When they say, quote, an Arby's, does that mean one Arby's sandwich or like a whole Arby's restaurant?
Well, I'm guessing, and this is a guess, that it's an Arby's roast beef sandwich.
Okay. I wasn't sure, because if you say go to an Arby's, you're not gonna find a sandwich and you can go to the shop. But of course, Bruce Bochy was known for his size 8 1/8 head. And remember the old Arby's signs? There's still a couple of them around before, they had the meats. It was a huge cowboy hat that said Arby's. Was that Bochy's original hat? I'm wondering.
I bet it was.
I don't think it would fit.
I bet they made it after his, they said, Bochy, give us a hat.
Well, MLB team stores don't offer hats above the size of 8, so they had to make custom hats. We've talked about this for Bochy's Dome. He was the catcher who, whenever he was traded, he would just take his equipment with him, and they would spray paint his helmet because they would have a hard time getting anything to fit that dome with him. But while with the Padres, Bochy hit a walk-off homer off Nolan Ryan.
Ooh.
That was the only walk-off homer Nolan Ryan ever gave up.
No way. Really?
And it was the only one that Bochy ever hit. But that I saw that and knew I needed to mention that to you. This is what teammate Terry Kennedy said after that walk-off homer. And he said, quote, "We ran a red carpet from the clubhouse door all the way to Bochy's locker. In his locker, we put a 6-pack of beer with ice in Bochy's helmet. You can get a 6-pack of beer in a lot of guys' helmets, but only in Bochy's helmet can you put a 6-pack of beer with ice." End quote.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm surprised you couldn't fit like a half rack in there or a mini a party ball
sandwiches.
Remember those party balls?
Oh yeah, I do. You could have put a couple of Arby's in there too, probably. I once went to an Arby's. My family went to an Arby's for dinner once, and they had run out of roast beef.
Oh my gosh!
I kid you not. That's like me running out of awful jokes or you running out of Ricky Henderson storylines.
Well, getting back to Arby's, since you mentioned it, no, this is perfect because off track. I read that the guy who came up with the McDonald's "I'm Lovin' It" jingle, his name is Pusha T, and he was paid a pittance for that tune, and he has no publishing rights to it. So he made no money for the McDonald's "I'm Lovin' It" jingle.
What?
But in a redemption story, he also wrote the "We Have the Meats"
he did.
jingle, or came up with it for Arby's, and he owns 40% of that.
Oh, very nice.
So suck it, McDonald's.
Now take it easy. I am actually friends with the guy that invented the McDonald's characters, Hamburglar, Raul.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the half moon head guy.
No, he did come up with that. Oh, no, he did. Mac Tonight.
Oh,
he came up with that too. But he invented Grimace. Who, by the way,
really? Mets fans, hello.
It's right. And who, by the way, I actually thought it was Bartolo Colon in a purple suit throwing out the first pitch. But it was Grimace, Mets fans.
Wow. I thought a lot of Mets fans, the way that the throw went, thought it might have been 50 Cent. Trying that redemption arc.
So you're saying it was a little off.
Yeah, but man, it is the Grimace era right now for the Mets. There's grimaces, there's T-shirts, there's people dressed up as Grimace in the crowd. It is a scene at City Ballpark, and when they're on the road, it's a fun time to be a Mets fan right now. It's a fun season. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no doubt. Look up. His name's Ken Willis. He's a friend, and he created all those McDonald's characters. He actually produced the Blade trilogy. So.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, I did go to Pusha T's Spotify page, by the way. I'm loving it. Not there. Nor is We Got the Meats. But there was a song called Diet Pepsi. So I listened to it, and it's not a jingle. It's not a jingle at all. Not something we can play here on our Safe for Work podcast. But good for you, Pusha T. Get your money.
There you go.
All right. So, that went from Bruce Bochy to a lot of fast food talk and party balls.
Which was your nickname in college?
Well, I did go to Washington State. I went to Washington State when party balls were a thing.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's how you got the nickname.
It must be. I forgot how I got it. But anyway, that's going to do it for the main segment of this show. It is time, Mark, that we head into the final segment. The best segment is what some people call it. Maybe because we don't talk as much. I don't know. But it's also got its own theme song. It's time for Wax Pack Heroes. Wax Pack Hero! Gotta pull a Wax Pack Hero! Stars in his eyes. Hero! On the podcast tonight. Now, Mark, last show, we did something very special. We got some packs of some older cards from somebody who we've already mentioned on the show, longtime listener Brian Krause. He sent us a couple of packs of these, and we had a good time. I probably even had a better time because I won. And looking up at the scoreboard, I am currently in the lead 5-3 as your defending champion. So we're going to do, he sent a couple of packs of those. Let's just open another 2 packs and we can collect all the leftovers and do a full episode on those.
All
but
right.
If you are new here, these are the rules. This is how we play Wax Packs Heroes. What we're going to do is we're going to open up some old baseball cards, in this case, actual wax packs. And we are going to take the baseball reference war of the year of the cards, which I do not know what that year is yet, but it's going to be, I think, sometime in the 70s this week, which is kind of cool. What we're going to do is we're going to take those baseball reference war and we're going to go head to head, 1 card versus 1 card, mano y mano, cardboard y cardboard. Whoever has the highest war wins that round. 1st to 5 is the champion for this week. But there are a couple things that can add or subtract to that score. Any 80s baseball aesthetics, even though if we're opening up cards from the 70s, it still holds true. That means things like real stirrups, means things like batting helmets without ear flaps, eye black, if they're wearing glasses to see or to shade their eyes, anything like that. A good mustache, all of that stuff will get you an extra 1/10 of a point. If it's a really good mustache, we're talking Wade Boggs, Keith Hernandez, Raleigh Fingers type, you can get an extra bonus 1/10 of a point on top of it. I don't think we need to worry about the 2-and-1s on this one, Mark. I think we can throw that out the window. It's not going to happen. Also, if the player won any awards the year of the card, we're talking things like Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, MVP. If they won a Gold Glove or were named an All-Star, that is a 1/2 a point for each of those. If there's a Hall of Famer on the card, whether they're the focus or not, that's a whole extra point. If Ricky Henderson or Nolan Ryan shows up in either pack for either of us, Ricky shows up, I automatically win that round. Nolan shows up, Mark might automatically win that round. We're not sure yet. Pop culture references, if we can easily find them, 1/2 a point each, or just 1/2 a point for that, unless they appeared on either Seinfeld, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or The Simpsons, in which case you get a whole point for each of those appearances. If they were suspended during their career for bad things, like if we're in the 70s, if it was the Pittsburgh drug trials and you're caught up in that, Keith Hernandez or Dave Parker, that is a minus 1/2 a point there. Or if they show up in the Mitchell Report, I'm guessing nobody will this week, but that is how we do it.
Right.
Them's the rules. So, Mark, what year are we looking at in
We're
these
looking
events?
at our country's bicentennial celebration, 1976.
1976. Now, I, at this point in my at this point in my life, probably had never even seen a baseball game.
Right. I was a fan of the back then Tacoma Twins, and that's really my whole world of baseball was around the Tacoma Twins because my dad took me to a lot of Twins games.
So you were driving him to these games, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I learned to drive real early as stick.
No, not early, but yeah, I mean, I was 4 at this time. So I was not watching baseball.
My first game was when I was 5.
Oh, okay. Do you remember
Dad
that?
Took me in and he taught me. I was enthralled from first pitch, and it became an obsession way back then. So which was 140 years ago. So 76. Didn't know a whole lot about the major leagues, but those guys were on TV on Saturdays, so that was kind of cool. I hate to break this to you, 76 probably not going to run across any rookies.
No.
But if we do run across Nolan Ryan, Brian is my hero because a nice 76 Nolan Ryan, quite valuable.
I don't think he's going to send that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
All right, let's get into this. I think I went first last time because you hold the cards. So
I do. I'm going to be the home team.
Okay.
All right, so you pick left or right.
I'm going to go with left again.
Opening the left, right there. Reaching in, starting at the top. Oh, man, these are great. Okay, this is the 76 tops, and you are starting off with Royals second baseman Cookie Rojas.
Oh, wow. I only know him as a manager of the Angels.
Yeah. He had a good career. He played for quite a while.
Let's see. So I'm looking, I've got the card here too. These are great cards because he's a second baseman here. And so what did Topps do? They've got down at the bottom left of the card, they've got his name and the team, but then they also have a little cartoon of the position that he played. And it's a second baseman turning a double play with a guy sliding into him.
Yeah, that's pretty fancy.
Cookie Rojas, 16 years as a player, second baseman and outfielder, 5-time All-Star, played for the Royals, the Phillies, the Reds, and the St. Louis Cardinals. 1976, at age 37, with the Royals, still played in 63 games, hit 242, 280 on base, no home runs, 16 RBI, 2 stolen bases, no caught stealing, a 66 OPS plus, and that is a minus .7 WAR.
Whoops.
Yikes. No awards that year. Anything on the card going to help me out?
We're not doing sideburns, are we?
No.
We got science teacher sunglasses.
Okay,
or science teacher glasses.
Yeah, the glasses will help me out. I think everybody's going to have the sideburns. So
that's a good point. Yeah, so we won't go with those or regular stirrups. Other than that, no, it's a nice little V-neck.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do the pullover because, I think they're and sans belt pants. I mean, that's just pretty standard for everybody at that point.
And there's no this week we don't have any special fun facts.
Oh,
so we can
or as we determined, they were just facts.
Yeah, many of them just facts.
Yeah, which is too bad because I had a clip, audio clip ready to go if we had those, but we'll save it. We'll save it.
Once saved a guy who was choking on a McNugget by giving him the Heimlich. Okay.
Again, that's just a fact. Signed in 56 by the Cincinnati Redlegs during the Reds scare, so they had to be the Redlegs.
Yes.
Also involved in a huge trade with St. Louis, which included Dick Allen, Curt Flood, and Tim McCarver. This is the trade that Curt Flood refused to report to his team, and then the whole free agency thing came around.
I believe we did a story on that.
Yeah, I believe you did. Absolutely. Got in a shoving match in the playoffs in 99 while he was coaching third for the Mets with umpire Charlie Williams.
Ooh.
Now, was it really a shoving match, or did they just go chest to chest and get separated? And
I don't remember a shoving match with an umpire.
I don't either. I think it was probably just a heated discussion. But when he took over as manager for the California Angels, Cookie Rojas took over for Moose Stubing.
Wow.
Because Moose Stubing had to go. He had to captain the Love Boat. But, I mean, what great names that were heading the Angels there for a while.
No kidding. Not the best score for you, man.
No. So I end up with a minus .6.
Okay. We're going to go to now the right-hand envelope. Here we go. And we're going to take marks off the top here. You got to like this guy's name. Champ Summers. Chicago Cubs outfielder.
Okay, Champ.
Champ Summers. Suzanne's dad.
Middle name Junior. John Junior Summers. But he went by Champ. I'm sure we'll find out how that came about. Champ played for 11 years. Cincinnati, Detroit, the Cubs, the Giants, the Padres, and 1 year with the Oakland Athletics in 1974. So, hey.
Yeah, that's a championship team.
Yeah, good bet. Let's see. In 1976 with the Cubs, he was 30 years old and played left, right, first, and catcher. So he was a pinch hitter. So he was pretty useful. Let's see. He only hit 206, 284 on base, 3 home runs, 13 RBI, 1 stolen base, no caught stealing, and 59 OPS plus. And that is good for a minus .8 WAR.
No.
Now he's got a great mustache here in this picture.
I was going to say we got a mustache.
Now, is it a 2-pointer, 0.2 of a point?
It's not going to get me there, I don't think.
All right, so that would take you to 0.7. Anything else on that card going to help you beat my minus .6?
We're not doing the helmet with no ear flaps, right?
I don't know. Quick look. Has anybody else got ear flaps?
I don't see any ear flaps.
Yeah, I don't think they were I don't even know if they were a thing at that time.
Now, there is okay, this is weird. There's a fun fact on here, but it has nothing to do with Champ Summers. It just says Guy Hecker of Louisville scored 7 runs in one game on August 15th, 1886.
Yeah, we've talked about Guy Hecker before, too.
Yeah, well, Guy Hecker got a little spot on Champ Summers' card.
That means that there's really nothing interesting about Champ Summers, except for the fact that somehow he is going to lose this round somehow. Let's see. How did he become nicknamed Champ? Summers received his nickname Champ from his father. He said, Dad took one look at me when I was born and said, he looks like he's just gone 10 rounds with Joe Louis, and called me Champ.
Okay.
He was signed by the Oakland A's in 71 after being discovered in a men's softball league.
You got to be kidding me.
Wow. So if you're out there playing softball, you could still get discovered. Don't give up the dream.
I've given up.
Yeah, I'm playing in a hardball league, and I've given up the dream.
Yeah. This is kind of funny. Summers was intercepted by injured Atlanta slugger Bob Horner and tackled by Horner and 2 fans that claimed Champ had made indecent remarks to them in the parking lot.
See, now that's a fun fact.
That is definitely a fun fact.
All right, so I'm up 1-0.
1-0.
Next card.
All right, your next card is outfielder for the Texas Rangers, Tom Grieve.
Oh, Ben's father. I believe he's still doing radio or TV for the Rangers currently. He was the GM for the Rangers at one point as well. Father of Ben, 9 years in the big league, 7 with Texas, 1 with the Mets, 1 with the Cardinals. 1976 with Texas, age 28. He hit .255, 301 on base, 20 home runs, 81 RBI, 4 stolen bases, a 108 OPS plus, and that is a WAR of 1.4.
Wow.
I'll take that. Anything else on that card going to help me out?
No, doesn't look like it.
No. Well, he's a first-round draft pick of the Washington Senators in 1966, part of a huge trade in 1977, a 4-team trade. I'm just going to give you some of the names involved here in this trade. Bert Blyleven, Al Oliver, and Tom Grieve. I guess there were a lot of names, but not a lot of great names.
Interestingly, the Grieves, Tom and Ben, were the first father and son combo to be selected in the first round of the MLB draft.
There you go. Nickname is Tag. I hear people call him that. Those are his initials. Also known as Mr. Ranger.
And in the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, he's all over Texas. He's doing radio and TV and all that kind of stuff. All right. So I am at 1.4. What is your card?
My card is Giants third baseman Steve Ontiveros.
Oh.
Must be a senior.
Let's see. Steve Ontiveros, third baseman and first baseman. Yeah. This is not the Steve Ontiveros I think you and I are both thinking of, right?
The pitchers who we're thinking
of.
Yeah.
But yeah, here it is. Stephen Robert Ontiveros, 8 years in the big leagues, 4 with the Cubs, 4 with the Giants. 1976 with San Francisco, 59 games, a 176 batting average, 244 on base, no home runs, 5 RBI, a 31 OPS plus. Not looking good for you here. And a WAR for the second consecutive time of a minus 0.8 for you.
Nice.
Does it matter what's on the card? I don't think, unless he was somehow on The Simpsons, Seinfeld, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I don't think it matters.
It's an action shot, a rounding third base, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, he was at one point traded with Bobby Mercer for Bill Madlock, but that's about it. And also played in Japan for 5 years, where he hit .312 with 82 home runs and 390 RBI. So good career in Japan.
It doesn't look like he's related to the other Steve.
No, he does not, does he?
I thought maybe father-son or something.
That's
no.
Such a unique last name, but no. Switch hitter, Mexican-American descent, 1977, singled off of Tom Seaver of the Mets in Seaver's 5th career one-hit game.
Oh, wow.
Only guy to do it. But I will take that. That's another win for the good guys.
2-0.
All right. On to the next card.
Moving on. You've got outfielders for the Padres, Willie Davis.
All right. Willie played for 18 years in the big leagues. I like his nickname is Three Dog.
Nice.
I don't know if that's like the hit dog or the crime dog or all the other
band, Three Dog Night.
Yeah, he just dropped the night part. And they probably sued him. That's what it was. His nickname was Three Dog Night, and they sued him, so he just became Three Dog. Also, he led the league in triples 2 years in a row. Well, in 2 years, and had 138 in his career, so might be part of it. 18 years in the big leagues. Dodgers for 14, and then the rest of baseball scattered about the other 4 years. 1976, he was 36 years old and played in 141 games for the Padres in center field. Wow. 268 average, 295 on base, 5 home runs, 46 RBI, still had 10 triples at age 36. Let's see, 14 stolen bases, 2 caught stealing, a 97 OPS plus, and that is good for a WAR of 1.7 again for me.
Wow.
Anything on that card going to help me out?
No, it doesn't look like it.
No. Well, he did win 2 World Series with the Dodgers in 63 and 65. Was traded at one point for a show favorite, Don Stanhouse.
No, nice. You're going to get some pop culture points.
I was pretty sure I was going to when I heard his name here.
Davis appeared in several TV programs, including Mr. Ed, The Flying Nun, and Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law. He was co-star of the Jerry Lewis comedy film Which Way to the Front. And this is awesome. In a 1969 episode of Bewitched, Samantha, attending the game at Shea Stadium to see the New York Mets host the Dodgers, remarks, "Willie Davis just hit a grand slam."
How about that? I mean, we've got thirst trap
Bewitched.
Elizabeth Montgomery all over this show.
This is great.
Unfortunately found dead in his Burbank home in 2010 of natural causes, had 4 kids, voted 21st greatest Arkansas sports figure behind Lou Brock. So
interesting.
All of that will equal a 2.2 for me.
Very nice. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy with that. What have you got for your card?
I have got White Sox outfielder Nils Nyman. Sounds made up.
How do you spell his last name?
Nyman.
Now, before we get off of Willie Davis, was he the guy that he and Dusty Baker gave each other the first high five?
I do not know.
I'm pretty sure it was Willie Davis, which I can't get any points for that, but that's just cool. Let's see here. Here he is, Nils Nyman. Nils, Nyls. I wonder what ethnicity that is. Is that Scottish or?
I don't think it's Scottish. I would know him personally if it were Scottish.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got Welsh in me, and I don't know him, so he's not Welsh. Maybe he's Irish. Overall, 4 years in the big leagues, all of it with the White Sox. 1976, he appeared in 8 games. This does not bode well for you.
No, it does not.
No home runs, 1 RBI, 133 batting average and on base, and a minus 0.3 OPS plus. So he was 103% worse than the average that year. That's not what you're shooting for. But good news for you, his WAR was only minus 0.2. So this is going to be your highest scoring card thus far. Anything on Niles' card going to help you out?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting. The White Sox have red pinstripe jerseys with red letters and numbers.
Yep, that was their
odd.
That was their color scheme for a little bit, but I'm not sure that that's going to get you any points.
No.
Well, his brother also appeared in the big leagues, and his name is Chris, Chris. So I would be interested to know where Nils got his name. His brother, though, played for the White Sox as well in 82 and 83. So they didn't spend time together in the big leagues, but they both, brothers playing in the big leagues, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, that's always cool.
I don't see anything else exciting about him, but I do see another notch in the good guys column.
Another big win for you.
3-0. All right, my next card.
All right, you got a very famous player here. Wait a minute. He's not famous in a ball player. Let's take a look here. He doesn't even look like him. You got the Cardinals shortstop, Mike Tyson.
Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing that it is not Iron Mike, but his nickname is Rocky. And for somebody that last played in the big leagues in 1981, long before Iron Mike Tyson was, biting ears and laying people out, that's pretty impressive.
I think Mike Tyson, by the time this card came out in 76, Tyson would have only been like 9 years old or 10 years old.
Let's see. Overall, 10 years in the big leagues for Mike Tyson. St. Louis for 8, Cubs for 2. 1976 with the Cards, played 76 games. 287 batting average, 326 on base, 9 triples, 3 homers, 28 RBI, 3 stolen bases, and a 117 OPS plus. And that is good for a 2.3 WAR. This is a good pack for him.
What? His defensive abilities must have been solid.
Anything on the card going to help me out?
Unbelievably killer mustache. That it's like a Fu Man.
Oh, is it just a 1/10 of a point or 2/10 of a point?
No, it's a 1/10 of a point.
Okay.
It kind of goes into, if it didn't have the chin whiskers, it would be a Hulk Hogan. And we'd have to give you 2/10. But.
All right. Well, not a lot of pop culture, as you would guess, for Mike Tyson here. I wonder if he raises pigeons as well. I'm not sure.
It's possible. This is interesting. He says here he's an underrated defensive player. Tyson finished in the top 10 in National League in defensive wins above replacement in 74 and 77.
I'll take it. I mean,
He must have been a solid shortstop.
Clearly where I got that WAR from there.
Okay, right. I am going to get points for best name.
All right.
Absolutely the best name. I've got catcher for the Braves. I got to make sure I say this right. Biff Pocoroba. Let's hear it for Biff.
This isn't like Jaime Coco.
No, it's Biff Pocoroba.
Okay, now I've heard of Biff and Pocoroba here. I have heard of him before, and his link on Baseball Reference has been clicked before on my browser. Biff, real name, Biff Benedict Pocoroba. Biff, well, I guess we'll find out where that came from here shortly. Let's see here. Born in Georgia, too. Oh, no, he died in Georgia. I'm sorry. He was born in California. Died, unfortunately, in 2020, during the pandemic. Let's see here. Overall, 10 years in the big leagues, all of it with Atlanta. An all-star in 1978, but we're looking at 76, where he appeared in 54 games, 241 average, 313 on base, no home runs, 14 RBI, 1 catcher stolen base, and a 66 OPS plus. And that is a WAR of 0.0. Anything on the card going to help you out?
That's one of my best scores.
That is your highest score, yes.
No, unfortunately.
No.
He's in a catching position, got the uniform on, but no catcher's gear other than the catcher's glove.
I might give you a point for the name.
Camera, like, do we really have to do this? And in the background, there's a portable like we used to go to school in.
Let's see. Played his last game in 1984. Subsequently started a sausage business outside of Atlanta. That is a fun fact right there.
Absolutely.
That is the epitome of a fun fact, Tops. Take notice.
He recalled how his grandfather made the family sausage when he was young, and some of the gourmet sausages made by the company came from old family recipes.
Let's see. There is no mention here of how or why he was named legally to the government Biff. He is the last MLB player as of 2020, is what it says, to be named Biff. Has there been anybody else named Biff since 2020 that we're not aware of?
I don't think so. I would definitely know that.
No, let's see. In Baseball Reference, the only 2 Biffs are the aforementioned Pocoroba and Biff Wysong from 1930 with he was a pitcher for the Reds. And his full name was Harlan Wysong. So
he wasn't even officially Biff.
No, so I'm going to give you a full point for being named Biff. But unfortunately, it's still not enough.
Okay, well, I appreciate the charity.
All right, Mark. So, it's down to this for you. You either win or go home. What's my card?
Yes, this is dangerous. You got Cubs outfielder Jerry Morales.
Oh, he's got a mustache, I'm guessing.
He's got a killer mustache. That's a stupid
every picture I see of him, he has got a lip brush that is very impressive. He was an all-star one time, 1977, just missed it. 1976, 140 games for the Cubs as an outfielder. Hit 274, 323 on base, 16 home runs, 67 RBI. 3 stolen bases with 8 caught stealing. That's not great. 97 OPS plus, and that is a WAR of 0.9 for me. For the mustache, is this just a 1/10 of a point, or am I going to get the full?
No, that's 2/10. That's a beauty right there.
I will take that. That'll give me up to 1.1. I believe I remember him on Sabrina the Teenage Witch once or twice, but we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Was once traded for Richie Hebner, the Undertaker. Richie Hebner, not WWF or WWE referee, but Richie Hebner, the baseball player / Undertaker. Let's see, Julio Ruben Morales Torres is his full name, but they just call him Jerry, like most people do. But I don't see anything else that's going to help me out there. But a 1.1 with the way you've been going, I feel pretty confident.
I think I may have a shot here.
All right.
Do we get any points if the player has been on the show?
Like in person?
In person.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have got Padres outfielder Bobby Valentine.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just give you the win for this round. I think that just should be, right?
I would hope so. I mean, we had a great interview with Bobby V. If you haven't heard it, people, it's a blast. Bobby was just really cool and told us a lot of great stories. So give it a listen. Including the definitive Ricky Henderson, John Olerud, where that story came from with That's right. I had a teammate like that. So let's see, first of all, 10 years for Bobby. And I mean, we've covered all this. 10 years for Bobby in the big leagues. 1976 with the Padres, he hit 367. He only played in 15 games. Remember, his leg got just completely mangled around this time, and this is when he was trying to come back. 436 on base. That's very impressive. No home runs, 4 RBI. No stolen bases, obviously. 162 OPS plus, and that will equal a WAR of 0.8. He was on the show, so you get 100 WAR for that. So, right on. So that will definitely give you the round here, and that's awesome when we get somebody that's been on the show. Yeah, did we talk to him when he was running for mayor of Stamford? No. Or had he already lost? He had not lost, but if he was running, we didn't bring it up just because we don't talk about politics here. That's right. He did run for mayor. We won't get into anything other than that. But he is not. He is not a mayor. He did not win. No, he is still citizen Bobby Brown, but Bobby Valentine. Bobby Brown. I don't know where that came from, but wow, yeah. If you want to know more about Bobby Valentine, go back and listen to that. We've talked plenty about him and with him, and he also got you a win, Mark. So it's now 4-1. Yay! All right, let's hear it for Bobby V. All right, you ready for your next interesting player? Braves outfielder Roland Office. Office as in the. All right, I see him here. Roland Office. Good. I like the name. Let's see. Roland, like Kelly Rowland, and then Office like the. Yes. Let's see here. Overall, 11 years in the big leagues, 7 with Atlanta, 3 with Montreal, 1 with the Yankees. 1976 in Atlanta, 99 games in center field. Hit 281, 348 on base, 4 home runs, 34 RBI, 2 stolen bases, 8 caught stealing. Again, that's not good. 99 OPS plus, and that will be good for a WAR of 0.3. Okay. Anything on that card going to help me out? No, he just looks kind of confused. There is a fun fact on the back that has nothing to do with Roland Office, but it is kind of an interesting fact, and it's about John Dummy Taylor. Let me guess, he was deaf. No, I don't know. It doesn't say that, but it says he pitched 1,727 consecutive innings without being relieved. Wow! So they just left him out there in between games. He pitched and pitched and pitched from 1901. Through 1908, no, they didn't even. Did he have a catheter or something? Like, how did he go without relief? I don't know. I don't know. He was definitely the kind of guy you would want out there if you want to give your bullpen a rest.
Well, let's see here. He was described as, quote, an impossibly skinny 21-year-old who played his position with tremendous enthusiasm, if not always the highest regard for his body, end quote. So he leapt to catch a ball that appeared to be on its way over the outfield wall, crashed into the wall, and made a catch, I guess. Okay. A lot of injuries because of the way he played is what it sounds like. It does not appear, though, as though he ever made an appearance on The Office, unfortunately.
No, that would have been big points.
No, he was listed as 6 foot 170. So, yeah, kind of a skinny dude. All right, so that's point 3. What do you got?
I've got Padres third baseman Mike Ivy. This is a Topps All-Star rookie.
All right, we'll have
to little gold cup and
see if he even played that year.
IVIE.
Yep, I got him right here. Overall, 11 years in the big leagues, 5 with the Dads, 4 with the Giants, 2 with the Tigers, 2 with the Astros. 1976, he played in 140 games for the Padres at first, third, and catcher. We got a lot of these guys that play catcher and then a lot of other positions, but I guess that's the 70s, eh?
Yeah.
Let's see, 291 average, 345 on base, 7 home runs, 70 RBI, very nice. 6 stolen bases, 6 caught stealing, a 123 OPS plus, and a WAR of 2.0.
Hey.
Anything on this card going to help you out?
No, nothing at all. He's clean shaven and he's it's like he's swinging a bat, but he's frozen mid form, and it looks pretty obvious that he is not swinging.
All right. He was a first overall first-round draft pick. First guy taken in the 70 amateur draft, and was later traded by the Giants to the Astros for Dave Bergman and Jeff Leonard.
Yes, Jeff.
Because I get a vendetta with Jeffrey Leonard. By the way, nobody knows this, but Mark does because I showed him. On the grid today, I used Leonard. I'm just going to call him that. And I typed in Jeff Leonard, and it didn't autocomplete it. It wouldn't take Jeff Leonard, and I'm still salty about it. But
yeah, what's up with that?
I'll get over it.
I mean, we call you Jeff. You got a problem with that? No.
If I get called Jeffrey, I know I'm in trouble. But
yeah, there you go. That's it.
Let's see. Nothing else really jumps off the page here. Was the successor for Willie McCovey at first base for the Giants. But after an off-season accident with a hunting knife in which he sliced part of his finger from his hand, he was unable to perform and became a bench flyer. So that's like the modern-day farm accident.
Yes, the hunting accident.
Yes. But good news for you. That's a win. So it's 4-2. I need to bring warm the closer up, please.
I got a closer here for you then.
All right.
Your next pitcher, or your next player, Brewers pitcher Pete Broberg, and he's got a stash from heaven.
Didn't we just talk about him recently? Because I was talking about Broberg being a great name, like if you were playing
that
now.
Sounds familiar.
But yeah. I think we were talking about somebody in the 1800s when we did that, so never mind. Yeah. Let's see here. Pete Broberg. No nickname, unfortunately. 8 years in the big leagues, 4 with the Rangers, 2 with the Brewers, 1 with the A's, 1 with the Cubs. 1976. He's a pitcher, by the way. Not a great one. He went 1-7 with a 4.97 ERA, 92 innings, 99 hits, and a 70 ERA plus. Led the league several times in hitting batters. And in 1976, that is good for a WAR of minus 0.7. Anything on the card going to help me out?
No, the mustache is definitely a 2-pointer.
Oh, okay. Well,
or 0.2, I mean.
I'll take that. That'll bump me down to minus 0.5. 68, the A's picked him with the 2nd overall pick in the draft. Didn't sign. Then in 71, the Rangers took him 1st overall in the first draft. And he signed there and went on to not be very good. Not much to talk about here. All right. Not much of a closer for me, but who you got?
I've got a guy that you will know mostly for being a manager, but at this time he was a Phillies catcher, Johnny Oates.
Let's see. Overall, in the big leagues, 11 years in the big leagues for Johnny Oates as a player, 3 with the Dodgers and Atlanta, 2 with the Yankees and the Phillies and the Orioles. 1976 in Philadelphia, 37 games, hit 253, 308 on base, no home runs, 8 RBI, and a 65 OPS plus, and that is a WAR of 0.1.
Just enough.
Just enough. Anything else on that card going to help you out?
Eye black.
Eye black. All right.
You have eye black.
Pile it on there. First round draft pick by the Orioles in 1967. Was traded for Davey Johnson, another Mets manager there at one point. Also traded with Dick Allen at one point. And was traded for Ted Sizemore, who is not Grady Sizemore's father.
No. Just like the Ontiveros, not related.
No, not related. He passed away in 2004. He passed away on Christmas Eve, 2004. I did not know he was gone, let alone that long ago. Wow.
He managed all the way through 2001, so not too long after he retired.
Wow. Well, R.I.P. Johnny Oates. All right. Well, not good news for me. I was up 4-0. It's now 4-3.
All right. And you have the Cleveland baseball team's outfielder, Charlie Spikes.
I'm sure he played volleyball on the side. Well, he's got
I'm sure he was sponsored by a shoe company.
He's got some lamb chops going on in this picture.
He certainly does.
On Baseball Reference. Overall, let's see, 9 years in the big leagues. Cleveland for 5, Atlanta for 2, Yankees and Detroit 1 apiece. 1976 in Cleveland. As an outfielder, 101 games, hit .237, .294 on base, 3 home runs, 31 RBI, 5 stolen bases, 84 OPS plus, and a WAR of -0.1. My great pack has slowly not been great. Let's see, anything on the card? Gonna get a mustache? Anything going on?
He's got the mustache, yes, sir.
All right, so that'll take me to 0.
Charlie Spikes, now he has a great nickname.
Okay, what is it?
Bogalusa Bomber.
Oh, that's not here on Baseball Reference. What is it again?
The Bogalusa Bomber.
The Bogalusa. Let's see. Oh, he went to high school in Bogalusa, Louisiana. And I feel they should mention that nickname. First round draft pick by the Yankees in 69, and then was traded to Cleveland for Greg Nettles. So that is how Greg Nettles came to wear pinstripes.
Yes, there you go.
Now, does he have the lamb chops there on the card?
He does, big time.
Are they close to the mustache?
Let me see. I gotta look. No, they are not.
Oh, I was digging for some points, but nothing there. All right. Well, he also played for the Chinuchi Dragons for 26 games in 1981, but nothing going on there. So if you have anybody below replacement level, I'm going to win this round. Who you got?
I've got an interesting player. And if you thought that Spike's mutton chops were solid, wait till you see outfielder for the Twins, Johnny Briggs mutton chops. Johnny Briggs. Well, see, now he's got kind of a bigger face, right? He's got big cheeks. And so if you got lamb chops on big cheeks, there's a lot of real estate that needs to be covered there. Yeah, somebody needs to mow those, I think.
Let's see. Well, 12 years in the big leagues, 8 with the Phillies, 5 with the Brewers, 1 with the Twins, fortunately for you. So his final year in the big leagues was 1975. Well, is there anything on the card that's going to help you out?
Let's see. The chops do not connect. No, nothing.
Because this is going to be a push, right? Because his chops are pretty much the same as mine, and we didn't give it, or even if we give them to both, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We're both at a 0.1. So it looks like we're going to go into overtime here with the last round. Winner takes all.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. You get Expos pitcher Dale Murray.
Oh, the epitome. Now, if his WAR is above 0 or below 0, I'm going to be very frustrated because he is kind of the ultimate average player, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Overall, Dale Albert Murray. Can we just pretend it's Dale Murphy instead?
I don't think so.
No, all right. Overall, 12 years in the big leagues, a overall record of 53-50. Montreal for 5, Yankees, Mets, Cincinnati, Toronto, and Texas. 1976, he led the league in games with 81 appearances. He went 4-9 out of the bullpen with a 3.26 ERA, 113 innings pitched, 13 saves, 117 hits, and 35 strikeouts. He did not overpower anybody, that's for sure. A 1.15 ERA plus And that will overall equal a career high. Oh, no, a second career high of 1.6.
Ooh, that's going to be tough.
That is going to be tough. Anything on the card going to help me out?
No, he looks like he's got a big cheek full of chaw, but that's no points.
No. Let's see. He was traded for Tony Perez at one point. And here we go. Traded by the Blue Jays with Tom Dodd to the Yankees for Dave Collins, Mike Morgan, and some guy named Fred McGriff.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's not going to help me, but that's obviously a big trade in Major League history. Hall of Famer Fred McGriff. No pop culture references easily found for Dale. So you got to beat a 1.6. What do you got?
I've got Padres pitcher Danny Frisella.
How do you spell that last name?
Frisella. Frisella.
Frisella. All right. Well, he's got a mustache in a lot of these pictures. I don't know if... He's also got two eyebrows that look like they're separate mustaches as well, but I shouldn't be one to throw rocks in glass houses there. Born in San Francisco. Wow, he died at age 30 in 1977.
Yes.
Oh, that's sad.
A dune buggy accident.
Oh, wow. So he played for 10 years, played all the way, I'm assuming that had to have been in the off season. He died in March, so maybe it was spring training. 6 with the Mets, 2 with Atlanta, then St. Louis, San Diego, and Milwaukee. His final year in the big league, 76, he went 5-2 with a 2.74 ERA, 9 saves, 49 innings, 30 hits allowed, 43 strikeouts. So he was a power pitcher, a 1.29 ERA plus, and a WAR of 1.1. Anything on this card going to help you out?
He's got a pretty good mustache.
All right, like 2/10?
No, I can't go 2/10.
All right, so unless he's got pop culture, I am going to walk away here with the win. He was traded at one point for Felix Milan, which if you know what his baseball cards look like, you know that those are always good comedy. Also traded for future manager Cito Gaston at one point as well. Accident on New Year's Day is when the accident happened. That is sad. Oh, it's 1 year at College of San Mateo before transferring to Washington State University, leading the Cougars to the College World Series in 1965.
Very nice.
There you go. I'm not sure that there is going to be anything else here already or that's going to help you here. His head was struck by the roll bar. I don't really want to read too much about that. Wow, it's a bummer to end on, but that will give me the win and bump me up again. It's now 6-3 overall.
We had to go the distance on that one.
Yeah, that was an exciting one, and definitely names that we have not talked about here before, but that was a good one. So thank you once again for sending those cards. That's going to wrap up this edition of Wax Packs Heroes. If you would like to send us some packs of cards or even go ahead and curate a couple of special packs for us, this is how you would do it. You would let us know. You can find us on all the socials. We are at 2 Strike Noise. That is at TWO Strike Noise on all, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. It's all in the show notes and as well as our email address, Mark.
Yeah, them's electronic mail. You can write to us at, again, spell it out, 2strikenoise@gmail.com.
All right, so that is going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you for joining us once again, and we will see you again when next we meet on 2 Strike Noise.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.